Hey guys, it's Trista again. So I'm here with a non-requested video for you guys today. The video that I'm going to be doing is actually a top 10 video. So it's going to be of my favorite Disney movies, and I wanted just to clarify with my Disney list, I'm only going to be looking at animated Disney films, but that's just because I'm a Disney snob and I have like different lists of different things. And if you wanted me to say like my top 10 of all Disney movies, I don't know if I could do it. So here it is, Trista's top 10 Disney films. Number 10 is gonna be The Lion King. I actually have loved The Lion King forever. I think it was one of those first films that I really just was like, oh man, like animals, talking animals, like I think I want to be a talking animal. Granted, I was like 8, and being a talking animal was totally a legitimate life choice. So I really fell in love with Timon and Pumbaa. I mean, who didn't? I still have their hula distraction song on my phone, which whenever I do play it, people laugh out loud, so it's really good. Number 9 is going to be a Goofy movie. So Goofy movie, I've always loved. Rob Schneider voices one of the characters in it, and he's just this existential cheese-loving weirdo, and I am an existential cheese-loving weirdo, so I feel like I found my life partner in this film. But I just grew up loving Goofy, and Powerline, I'm sorry, but Goofy movie gave me some of the best dance moves along with some of the best songs. If you don't listen to Tevin Campbell, I don't know. And for those of you who don't know, Tevin Campbell is actually Powerline himself. Welcome to the 90s. Number 8 is going to be Aladdin. So who doesn't love a story about somebody who gets to pretend who they're not for a while and gets to have a magic genie and a magic carpet and lives in this wonderful, beautiful land and knows somebody who has a tiger as a pet. I love this movie primarily because of in California Adventure at Disneyland, they actually have a live action like play, like kind of a musical that you can go see, and I just really loved it. When I went and saw it, actually Jasmine's pants fell down during the middle of one of her solos, so that was super awesome. Number 7, Toy Story 3. Now, although I like all of the Toy Story films within the franchise, Toy Story 3 was the one I connected with the most. I mean, at the time when it came out, I was in college, and I had to go through some of the similar things that Andy did, like giving up his toys and moving past, but also recognizing that you don't necessarily have to let go of those things that make you childlike and make you excited about things. So definitely in the top 10 for sure. All of the films though are absolutely wonderful, but 3 is my favorite out of those. Number 6. Well, if you know me and you've read my stories, you obviously have read Sugar, which is about Greek mythology, so what kind of person would I be if I didn't have Hercules on there? So number 6 is Hercules. I'm sorry, but I still love the joke, somebody call AXII, because I was young and geeky and knew what Roman numerals were, and so I got the joke and everybody else didn't, so it's still one of my favorite things. And just all the Greek characters and learning a little bit about mythology, even though it's a little bit off, it's still really good. Halfway through the list, number 5 is Pocahontas. So there was a brief point in my life when I wasn't completely and thoroughly obsessed with Sleeping Beauty, and that's when Pocahontas came in. I had her book, I dressed up as her for Halloween, I wanted the tattoo on her arm, I had one of her fake necklaces, I had a stuffed dog, Percy. I loved Pocahontas, mostly because I loved Grandmother Willow. She is my spirit animal, or I should say my spirit tree. My druid sign is actually Willow. I have a huge fascination with weeping willows, and Grandmother Willow just completely solidified that for me, so that's why it's my number 5. Number 4 is Beauty and the Beast. This was one of those movies I remember seeing as a kid, and I wanted the library, and I wanted to find somebody who would love me for all the things that I had inside, and that's really what this movie to me was about not necessarily the whole bestiality undertone. I mean, I get it, fine, but really it's about finding somebody and loving them regardless, and finding that even though they may have bad parts to them, that the bad parts and the good parts are all one and the same, and you fall in love with that person completely. So for me, that's what the story was about, and I absolutely loved it. Number 3, well, I wouldn't be a true One Direction fan if I didn't actually really love Peter Pan. Peter Pan for me was one of those films that, one, made me love London and made me want to visit London, but also made me realize that I always could have a part of that child inside of me that didn't grow up, and that it wasn't a bad thing, that I could always pretend to be somebody I wasn't, or think about other things, or listen to One Direction when you're 25, and not be ashamed about it. So Really, Peter Pan was just about not growing up, regardless of how old you were, that you always had that chance to go back and be a child. Number 2 is Robin Hood. I love these fox, bear, chickens, all of the animals that they portrayed in Robin Hood. I've always really loved Robin Hood. It's one of those stories that, you know, rob from the rich, give to the poor, the misunderstood good guy. But, you know, just the characters and the songs, and Robin Hood actually has my favorite Disney love song in it, which is called Love. But honestly, it's probably one of the most romantic songs ever. Whenever I'm getting mushy, I don't necessarily put on a romantic comedy. I listen to that song and I sing it, and I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, please, please, please go listen to it. And number 1, of course, it's Sleeping Beauty. How could it not be Sleeping Beauty? If you look at my personal Tumblr, it's Sleeping Beauty everywhere. I want to name my first daughter Briar Rose, for God's sakes. I fell in love with Sleeping Beauty when I was a young kid, and the story just stuck with me. And it wasn't about this whole like feminist movement of, oh, she's only in it for 19 minutes and she has to have a man come save her. Oh my God. No, that's not what it's about. The story is that she dreams about him, and they find each other in a forest, and they know each other regardless. And this sounds so familiar to Dreamscape because this is where I got the idea from. If you dream something more than twice, it's bound to come true. And if you follow your heart then in your dreams, then you're going to be happy. And that's really how I live my life. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful film. The way that it's drawn is absolutely before its time, and I'm just a huge fan. So if you ever have questions about Sleeping Beauty, I'm probably your girl to ask. I have signed pictures from Mary Costa, who's Sleeping Beauty herself, that are signed to me. I cried when I got them. She's a wonderful, amazing woman who had this illustrious soprano career. Her voice is amazing, and I am completely guilty of singing Once Upon a Dream more than twice a week, probably. So okay, so there you have it. Those are my top 10 favorite Disney animated films. If you're interested in knowing more about maybe my Pixar animated films or my non-animated Disney films, I'll go ahead and post that below so that way you guys can kind of read it, and you know, I want to hear what your top 10s are. I want to hear your favorite princes and princesses and heroines and non-caring characters. So go ahead and let me know, and I hope to see you guys, talk to you guys soon. I love you all. Mwah! Bye!